So how to conduct phonic instruction? So develop general concept of alphabetic reading and with simultaneous inclusion of the writing activity as a necessary component in the development of reading concept. Do this by A. Showing each letter in order one phonetic value. So, show ang usa ka ang mga letters kay daghan siya og phonetic value. So, para dili kay maglibog ang student or ang children. So, maghatag lang usa ta og example with one phonetic value. So, letter B, excluding words with silent letters, double letters, nor combination of letters. So, dili lang usa nato apilon kay kana ang dili pa man kaay sila sadhaniti or dili ba kaay sila familiar sa kanaong words. So, at hinahinayan lang sa nato, so dili lang sa nato apilon ang mga words nga naay double letters. Parihaan ng cliff. So, and combination of letters or mga silent letters, parihaan ng PAM. Letter C, using 2 letters and 3 letter words which the letter have the sound values assigned at the outset. So, mag-use at tag mga words nga ang iyahang letter sound is naaras kanaang basa ra jud sa siya sa isang sa usa ka word. So, para nang pop. So, unsa may phonetic sa or phoneme sa P. Pa, di ba? Pa, pa for pop. Letter D, using short sentences. So, kanang nagkat-on pa man ato ang mga ang children, so di lang sa tamo use ang mga tag-as kaay nga sentence. Mo use na tag ng mga mugbo lang. For example, the ball is red. So hinana siya. Letter E, introducing double consonant and other digraph that appears in consistent uses. Double consonant, mo introduce atag mga double consonant or hinaynayan tag-introduce para dili kay sila magkalibugay o mga double consonant nga kuan kada adlaw ba nilang makit-an or familiar na sila ana nga word. Letter F, taking up words whose spelling may be called semi-irregular. Letter G, introducing irregularly spelled words. So, patok ng gisulti kanina, irregularly spelled words is kanang mga words nga lain ang pagka-storya or pagkabasa kaysa sa iyang spelling. Number 2. On the 5 vowel letters A, E, I, O, U, and perhaps 17 consonant letters P, B, T, D, C, and so on and so forth would be used, each with only one sound value. Letter 3, or number 3. Number 3. 2-letter and 3-letter words referring to familiar or easily explained concept would be composed from the above material and divided into 5 groups according to the vowel letter involved, like the sample shown below. Or for example, di ba naantay 5 vowel letters. So, ato na sila ikuan o hatagan na sila mga words or mga example nga words. Para sa letter A, natay pan, bat. Letter E, pen, bet. Letter I, pin, bean. Letter O, pot, bug. Letter U, bun, bug. So number 4, compose short phrases and sentences referring to familiar concept with the above type of words. This requires the gradual introduction of a small set of commonest irregularly spelled words such as I, is, the, a, has, etc., and etc., which would have to be taught as sight words. For example, the red hen, the bad cat, I am big, not had a bat, the big dog, the fat pig, Ted is not big. So number 5, develop the basic visual and auditory discrimination skills involved in the perception aspect of the reading process by doing the step repeatedly. Number 6, develop ability and fluently to read and write. Another method is called the Gillingham-Stillman method, whose purpose is to provide readers disabled or potentially disabled who have specific language difficulty with a method of learning to read that is consistent with the evolution of language function. This method is based on the idea that learners with language disabilities will learn to read successfully only with methods that are consistent with the evolution of language function. Orton, 2004, hypothesized that specific language disabilities he observed may have been due to hemispherical dominance in specific areas of the brain. He relates certain instances of reading disabilities to difficulties students might potentially have when reading or when dealing with consistencies that result mixed dominance. Mirror writing and reversal seems to be evidence of these difficulties. So Gillingham and Stillman claim that their methods provide phonetic method consistent with the evolution of language function. This method engage learners using only this, and the best teacher to use the method are those familiar with traditional reading and spelling instruction. So introduce the method with a narrative entitled The Growth of Written Language. The narrative is intended to provide a positive mindset. It traces with example the evolution of communication from spoken language to picture writing, alphabetic writing, and the method with an explanation to the student that the difficulty that have incurred with reading is not unique. Thereafter, a sequence of exercise beginning with the learning of letter and letter sound, then blending sound to word, and finally sentence and story reading as suggest. Letter A, letter. Teach a sound represented by letter and then build this into word. To this end, which word formally is taught by associations involving visual, auditory, and kinesthetic process. So, letters. Mahatag ta og letters. Banangletan. Letter D for dog. D for dog. Or teach a sound represented by letter. Da. Da. Da for dog. First associative process. Show to the student or letter and say it. Let the child repeat it. So, kumuan na galing. Letter A. Letter A. So, pasagdan na to ang estudyante or ato ang ikuan ang estudyante nga kana ang sundon nila ang ato ang kisulti letter A. Nga ila din sundon. Next, follow it by the sound representing it. Then let a child repeat it. Letter A, ah. Letter A, ah. Second, associative process. Make the sound represent by the letter and let child name the letter. So, kamuan ako nga, yes, sila sa musulti kung unsa na siya nga letera or mo ako ba. Third, associative form. Explain and write the letter form. And let the student trace the line, write the word from memory, and then write the word without looking and what is being written. So, kani siya, siguro mo ingon ko nga, letter A. So, ila din isuwat without looking sa letter. So, letter B, words. So, letter B, words. After 10 letters, all well-known begin blending from synthetic to analytic and then analytic to synthetic. Letter C, sentences and stories. After a child can read and write in a 3-letter perfectly phonetic word, sentence and story reading comments begin with simple, highly structured story referred to as little stories which are presented to the child to read and write. Let the child read the story or sentence silently until he or she can read it perfectly. Any words with which the child may have difficulty with are either sounded out or, in case where words may be unfamiliar such as phonetically irregular, words pronunciation must be provided. So, kung naa sila yung nakuan gali, kana ang, or kato ang phonetically irregular, so kinahanglan na gina siya og guide. So, next, encourage the child to be accurate and to avoid guessing. So, na may kuan ka ng mga bata nga kanang magbasa gali sila ang tag-ano nila ang words nga ilahang gibasa. Next is for sentences and story writing, dictate him or her the letter stories as you dictate the story, avoiding unnecessary repetition. The child writes the words. So, next, kung ka na ang murag effective siya nga kuan kung ato as diktahan ang students then silay mo ato ang diktahan ang students without repeating murag ilahan ang kuan sa ilang utok kung unsa nga word ang ilahang isuwat. Letter D, others. As the child reading skills develop, the teacher may want to use further guidance provided by Gillingham and Stillman. So, children learn that polysyllabic words are formed by syllables in the same way of monosyllabic words are formed by letters. To this end, learners are presented with and asked to combine detached syllables and are taught to identify the appropriate accent by trying the accent on each syllable. Pareha anang unsa man day nang gaan polysyllabic words. So, polysyllabic words mao na siya ang so Phonosyllabic words, mao na siyang words nga two or more syllables. For examples, children, shampoo. So, mao na siya mga polysyllabic words. So, ang monosyllabic words, so, kuan naman no. So, ang monosyllabic words mo na siya ang mga kuan ra siya mga one syllable. Pero anang no, yes, bye. So, next is dictionary use is thought for the purpose of identifying the pronunciation of words. So, next, the deal with the few selected words which are found, typos, typo guys. To deal with a few selected words which are phonetically irregular or whole word drill is suggest. Finally, until the child completes a major portion of phonics program, he or she is discouraged from reading independently.